John Mark McMillan has written songs and traveled the world singing them for decades.
20 years later, it's been a wild ride.
His long musical journey is also a spiritual one. It began when he was just 7 years old.
When I was 7, I had this weird thing happen at Vacation Bible School.
I was overwhelmed with this feeling and I started to cry.
There's like a guest musical, special music, they used to call it. And out of nowhere, like I felt this feeling, right? I felt this feeling, and the only way I can describe it is that it felt like the entire universe was in love with me, and I had compassion on every person I'd ever met in my entire life. And I started to sob, I started to cry, I started to break down. And so I think from then on, like I wanted to feel that feeling again, and I found it oftentimes in music, and that's probably why I gravitated towards music, even though I wasn't very good at it growing up.
Good or bad, he couldn't stop.
And I wondered at some point if I made music myself, then maybe I could feel that feeling again.
In his teen years, John Mark began creating his own original music.
Initially, I think I started writing songs because I'd played in some bands, and mostly I just liked the community of being in the band. I was never very good. In fact, a lot of people told me I wasn't going to make music.
And in seminary, he was given his first opportunity to take the stage with his very own song.
That was the moment I'm like, I walked off the stage thinking like, this 5,000 people sang this song the way I felt. It's like, I want to feel this way. And I realized that maybe if I can share that feeling through my music, I could do something that mattered.
Still, one of his most recognized hits. He wrote How He Loves more than 20 years ago after losing a close friend in a car accident.
I'd actually started the song before he passed away. I had like a verse, but I played that verse for him. In my mind, it was like the last time I saw him alive. And after he passed away, I decided to finish that song kind of as an homage to him because I knew he liked it. And I'd had people die, lost grandparents and stuff, but like losing a young friend was like not a thing that was supposed to happen. And so I was, I was bitter that God would take my friend. That I was very tempted to think God's not a loving God if he would allow my best friend to die. And it was saying, I still believe you're a loving God.
Since this song, John Mark has released many chart-topping melodies, most recently, Cosmic Supreme.
The Cosmic Supreme album really happened, it was in a season when my father-in-law was passing away. He was dying. He was fighting cancer. And in that season, life was really, really difficult. My mind started wandering, and while I was supposed to be working, I would start singing these, what I thought were kind of silly, childlike praise choruses. And after my father-in-law passed away, I realized that I felt like God was giving me the songs that I needed. And I thought maybe other people these might be helpful for them.
Now, taking more time to look back, he embraces every area of his life, the tragedies and the triumphs.
It's been a wild ride. But at 45, I also realized the world is a lot more complex than I thought it was at 7.
Certain things that were painful, but I don't know that I would be who I am right now if I hadn't walked through all of that. In one sense, if Jesus is the image of the invisible God, and Jesus is the God who embraces helplessness as a child, who embraces hard work as an adult, and then he embraces, death. If he's the God who embraces all those things, then also taking up the cross is also embracing my whole story, even the parts of it that I don't like. If Jesus embraces my whole story, then I can also embrace my whole story, and I can look back without shame, and I can be okay with whatever it was. And that is the cosmic supreme.
I want you to know how much I appreciate you and how much purpose and meaning you have given me over these last 20 years. Thank you so much.
Ephraim Graham, CBN News.